Hello everyone and welcome to another Brothers War Draft traditional version. Um, First pick, I probably will take the Urhes command. It is still decent because you could use all four of these modes. Quite often you will take the artifact and card draw, maybe the power stone and the artifact sometimes, but then the -2/-0 can be a pretty important uh, option to at some stages in the game. So it will be my pick here. It's the pack isn't that amazing. The retro artifact is well playable in some decks but useless in most decks. 5 mana to accelerate mana, even though this is a lot of mana it can add. It's just not at the stage when you need it anymore that often. A gruesome realization is pretty decent. Stern lesson, power stone fracture, fine, but yeah, Ursa's command it is. And okay, so do I wanna pick something like a Might Stones animation, which can be an amazing card in the proper deck? Well, it actually does. Not just with this. This can make the both the artifacts and here can be targeted with this thing because this token has a base power of 0/0. So if you make it into 4/4, that's nice pump effect. You could just take the prison sentence, which is fine, but or maybe even the Argotin opportunist. It's very close to the prison sentence, but I think I'll take the animation. I haven't played a lot with this card, and it might be time for me to try that. This coastal bulwark might also come back, and this could be like a slower deck, which necessarily might not mind having the defensive 2-drop. But I'm taking the Mightstones animation because overall the pack isn't too strong, and it matches with my first pick, and it can be, it's a little bit of a build around, but it's very good when you get to go off with the ability. And of course, when you pick it, a second pick in the entire draft, it's quite easy to draft around it a bit. Alright, so here I might take the Hulking Metamorph, another rather weak pack. The rare is useless. This requires mono red, which I'm not really willing to force here at this point in the draft after picking those blue cards. There's nothing like an amazing target for the animation, and the Metamorph is interesting. It depends on mostly it depends on what abilities your cheaper drops have, because you can make your 2-drop or 3-drop into a 3/3 with the same ability. So if you task like flying, it'll be good. I'm willing to take the Metamorph here, even though it's not that good. I mean, the other option is something like an Evolving Wilds. This is a very weak pack, in fact, so let's just take the Metamorph and move on. Hurkle. Okay, well, this pack, first of all, has a lot of good stuff. I think I am going to take the Hurkle Master Wizard here, but I wouldn't mind the Wellspring. Maybe I'm actually, I mean, this has to be a non-creature spell, so if you have artifacts, well, you can find artifacts with non-creature artifacts and keep them, but your artifact creature spells won't count for this thing. So I'm not sure. I think it is still good, but I really like the Wellspring because there's also the Energy Refractor, by the way, and the Weak Stone Subjugation, which are decent options here. But after picking the Might Stones animation so early, I'm gonna actually take the Wellspring here and just move on from that. And hopefully blue will be open. Here, well, blue has a couple of options, not really exciting ones. The best card here might just be the Battery Bearer. It's not the greatest of these two color uncommon sort of build arounds, but it's still quite good. And with this thing I can actually play the Metamorph at 9 mana. At least it makes it a little bit more possible to do so. So I'm gonna take this and let's see if blue-green could be something I'm drafting here. Now there's playable white, playable green. This would be actually pretty decent if I am blue-green, but there is also an Elsewhere Flask. I mean, I have only one Mightstones animation, but quite often they go late. Now, I don't see a lot of blue here, so maybe I shouldn't be in this blue so deeply, but I already took the Wellspring. And I also have seen the Stalwarts go late. I'm not necessarily going to play like 3 of them If I get 1 or 2, I may, assuming I'm ending up at green. Okay, I'm gonna take the flask. Yeah, these 2 mana cantrip artifacts are very good with if you have Might Stones animations. I just hope I will find more of those. Alright, well, they are also, fine with the Latinum Adept. So how many cards currently can draw me a card? I mean, this is not a good card. I have already a lot of 4-drops, but what's the option here? This is just unplayable, basically. The Recluse is another 4-drop. Supply drop? Not really. I mean, am I supposed to take a black card? Because I have only 1 green card. I maybe should take a black card here after all. Something like a Gixian Infiltrator. Paratrooper. Yeah, I'm not taking the 4-drops here because I have already a bunch of 4s. I'm going to take the Infiltrator. I think this deck looks like something blue-black is gonna be better with than green. Sorry, than white blue. But hey, here I do have another battery bearer, so I think I'm gonna go for it and just hopefully have a little bit more blue and green coming up to my direction, and then I get this pack, which is just total nonsense. How does my deck look like? Million 4-drops. This also is often a 4-drop, I mean most of the time. So I'm not going to play a team carrying or the retrieval unit. I don't really think it's gonna happen. I mean, out of these options, I think the retrieval unit is the most reasonable one, but I still don't think my deck will have a room for that. Okay, I'm going to take the Coastal Bulwark though. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what was open in pack 1, but I suppose I'm gonna, with 2 battery bearers, I at least have a plan, and these, somewhat decent blue cards. Yeah, let's do the blue-green thing, unless, pack 2 rare really points me to some other direction. Here I can just take a random uncommon. This is, in theory, something I could sideboard in. Oh, I got the Refractor back. Now there's another Bulwark, which I actually wouldn't mind having, but I'm gonna take the Refractor here. And now if I find more Might Stones animations, I'm just gonna pick them. Shoot down good sideboard card. This thing. Alright, come on. Mistress Factory. Oh, well, there's no Might Stones animation. I do like the... Sorry, not the factory, of course. That's the original Mistress Foundry. It is pickable here. There's also the Mutt, Stalwart, and Blanchwood Prowler. I mean, it could be one of these, or it could be the land. I do have the Refractor, which helps me with mana. Yeah, I don't think the land is that bad here. I mean, first of all, it doesn't cost you a spell slot from the deck. It's just pure value. And I usually don't like these lands if I have a very hefty colored mana requirements, but I have now fixing already. Maybe I'll get like the Stalwart at pick 9. Yeah, I'm taking the Foundry. And here we have... Well, there's a reason to be blue-black. I still could do that. These 2 battery bearers are the only green cards I have so far. But it's not like this pack doesn't have any other option, because it has good options. There's even the Excavation Explosion, which you could play here. There is a Wing Commando. I don't have anything at 3. I have, of course, a bunch of non-creatures, so Wing Commando could be thought about. You could just take the Mutt here, of course. I don't like the rare. That's a little bit too expensive for a 6/4. The milling thing is not guaranteed to make you win the game. Alright, so I think the decision is between the Evangel of Synthesis and something like a Wing Commando and the Excavation Explosion. I have to make some pick. I really want to play the Battery Bearer, so I guess I'm actually just taking the Wing Commando and try to be straight blue, green, and... Okay, now if I could go back, I would definitely just take the Evangel and instead of the Wing Commando, and now take another Evangel. But the Steel Seeker here isn't bad at all. The Weak Stone Subjugation is good. It's definitely a good card, but I mean the Steel Seeker has a lot of triggers already, so I'm taking it and solidifying in the blue-green plan here. Sadly, I don't really get... See, I haven't seen any other Might Stones animation, but there is a Stern Lesson, which I will take over something like a Perimeter Patrol here. I think this deck will be playing a Rust Goliath. If I find it later, I don't think it's a high priority to pick it. Also, the alloy animist can be very decent with all this stuff, but I think at this point I'm just going to take the stern lesson and Hall of Tuxen. Yeah, I don't think I need this thing. I will take the Iron Crow Crusher, and yes, it is yet another 4-mana spell, but this deck has already with double battery barrier. I don't think I'm going to play the Stone Retrieval unit though. And Stern Lesson, yeah, I have means to go to 7 mana, so I think I'll take the Crusher for that reason. Yeah, I'm not taking the hole here. Crusher is fine. Okay, Mask of the Jade Crafter, now that is a good reason to be green. I'm not that sad. Oh, there's still a Mutt here, which I would pick in this deck. But yeah, let's take the Mask, it's the best card in the pack. And I get the... Well, I was saying wrong green cards, but I guess I could take the 2-drop for 2-drop purposes. Because I have 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I have only 2-drops that actually, affect the board. This even... Well, this can trade with the 3-1, but... I guess I should maybe take the Perimeter Patrol though, because of the artifacts in this deck. Yeah, the Honor Guard is... I'd rather have just something else than that Honor Guard as a 2-drop. I'll take the Patrol. I don't think I need the Machine over Matter. Okay, anything good? Reconstructed Thopter. Well, there's an Elspeth Flask, but I would really like to have more than one Mightstone animation. Oh boy. Maybe I get the Alloy Animist or something, I'm not sure. I don't really like the counterspell. I don't think this deck cares about the Thopter that much. I'm going to take the Flash Care, but hopefully pack 3 will give me a 1 more Mightstones animation. Here I'm happy to take the Citadel Stalwart. It actually makes these things, that all these 2-mana artifacts, something I can tap to add more mana. So it's a card I wanted to have here. Wow. So these things come back, right? Oh boy. Well, it's not a deck that needs an Audacity. I guess I could take the Recluse for some kind of a sideboard reason. I don't think I'm gonna take the Fracture and splash it. I'll just take the Recluse for sideboard. I don't think it has space in the main deck. And now I'm just gonna... I guess I could take this, but no, I'm just gonna take the Evangel. This is so disgusting that it's still there. But what is not disgusting is that I got my Allo Animist quite late here, so I'm happy about that one. Whatever, I'm not playing any of that. The Retrieval Agent is another 4-drop that really won't be fitting in this deck because of the other 4-mana spells I have. Okay, now I want to have ideally 2, but even just 1 Mightstones animation, please. From the next pack, that is. Well, I guess I should take the potential sideboard card that I have never used. Coilest Rock, sure. Okay, there is a Mightstones animation. Is there any reason to... Well, there is also Confrontation Golem here. But I think this animation is the best option out of these. Given my plenty of targets for it. So I'm gonna just take it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Chromatic Star, Levitating Statue, another fantastic target for the Mightstones animation, by the way. But I still don't have a lot of 2-mana creatures. It would be another reason to take. Yeah, because I don't really need more animation targets. I'd rather take 1 more Mightstones animation. I don't know though. You could take the star also, but... Okay, fine, I'll take the statue. It can be such a nice big flyer. Right here. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Haywire Might. You can main deck it, but I don't think my main deck has space for it. It's a very good decent sideboard card. Keening Stone is interesting, also as a sideboard card against very slow decks. But I think I will have more often uses for the Haywire Might, so I'm gonna take that. Okay, I get now the Confrontation. This thing, if you had like a 2 Evolving Wilds, this actually becomes a bit better card. My deck doesn't care about it now. I don't have any evolving wilds, only the Mistress Foundry, which might die. Confrontation, I think I might have to take. I don't have release removal here, so I'm gonna take the confrontation. Still hoping that I can get maybe like one Rust Goliath for the 10-10 dream with the double battery bearer around. I mean, this deck could play the Colossus. I don't have a lot of Power Stone production, by the way, but I do have 2 battery bearers, which makes me interested in these artifacts. This also draws a card, because this has the additional clause. If I even cast the prototype with the battery bearer on the battlefield, I will be able to draw a card. Last zone. Okay, now it's time to... Yeah, I mean, I could play 2 of these guys, but I'm gonna have to take a removal spell here, so let's take that. And Tower Worker, I think that is pretty easy, because the pack isn't very strong, and I kind of want to have a 3 mana card, and this is nice, doing some accelerating job here. Phalange Archaeologist over the Death Charge Colossus might be... How many non-creatures I have? 12. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna play 2 of these. On the other hand, I might. Fine, I'll pick another one of those. I'm not sure if I'm gonna main deck 2 of them, but it's an option. Okay, I got the confrontation pack. Yeah, I think that was the pack from where I took the Might Stones animation, and now I finally got this. I mean, this is also often a late pick, so I'm not surprised it's a pick 10, but anyway, I'm happy now that I got it, because I'm a bit low on 2 drops. I really wanted to get something like a Coastal Bulwark there, but I did not. Okay. Right, just take the uncommon. I'm not gonna play multiple curates ever. I mean, I doubt I'm ever gonna play even one. Yeah, there's a few cuts I need to make, and the deck doesn't actually look that amazing, but who knows? Maybe it can do something. I'm not always that great at evaluating decks. Another tinkering here. Right, so cut the lands for now, and this is 28 cards. Any easy cuts? Coilous Rock is an easy cut, and I think 1 Death Charge Colossus should be cut from the main deck. And now the question is it going to be a 16 land deck? Because it could be. I have a Stalwart, which, you know, yeah, sometimes will be eating some removal, but not always. I have a couple of cantrips here. I know I could also cut one of these things. I think the Elsewhere Flask is the least important out of these. The Wellspring and the Refractor are slightly better. Wellspring, because if I do in fact animate with this thing, I mean, I will also get the card when it dies. When it's a creature, it's likely to die. So with, let's see, the good amount of the amount of good targets for the 2 animations are 1, 2, 3, 2 of these. I mean, sorry, 4 of these 2 mana artifacts, and then the Stern Lesson Power Stone. The Power Stone, which I can get from an Urza's command, 6, and it's not the end of the world to make the Tower Worker into a 4/4 either. It's actually not a bad curve out. That's like 7 cards for 2 animations. I think that's gonna be good enough. I don't need 2 flasks here. And I also, I mean, the flask is also good for the animist, yes. But I don't really, I mean, I'm struggling a bit with the cards now. Because there's one more card I will be making. It might actually be the honor card from the main deck. Now this is a very low amount of early board affecting plays, but not every deck, I guess. This is a very aggressive format though, so I'm not sure actually. I have a couple of 1-drops, so at least if opponent has like a 2-1s and 3-1s, I can trade with them. "12 creatures, 12 non-creatures." Well, at least the statue will find some triggers. Metamorph is a 4-drop. This can be a 4-drop, so I guess I put it there. Yeah, 16 lands is pretty decent here. You could cut something like the Patrol, but I have a lot of artifacts, 10 artifacts, and then a few cards that make a Power Stone token. So it will get the boost quite often, and I like it as it's still a pretty defensive 3-drop. It can trade with at least all 2-drops, and some 2-drops can't even attack into it. It will trade with almost all 3-drops. Yeah, I'll cut the Anna Garden. We'll just sideboard into more early plays if opponent is very aggressive. I still play the Foundry here. I guess I do have the Flask and the Refractor, which help with the colored mana a little bit, and then there's the Stalwart, so it's gonna be like an 8-7, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not going to play 9-6. I have a double blue card too, so I do want to play 7 islands. So let's add the lands then. And that's the deck. Definitely not like super amazing, but well, I don't know. We will see. We will see. Yeah, there's no green for the Stalwart, but I guess I can get the Bulwark and Surveil a bit. I'm on the draw. I'm keeping it because I have the 2-drop here. But of course with Forest it would be a little bit more ideal. Hey, they have the same plan than I. Okay, am I gonna Surveil them in the main phase? In the upkeep I'm not. I just hope to draw a Forest and then I can play the Stalwart and Mask, or just Surveil, but they will get rid of something, maybe the Steel Seeker. It was a risky keep. I have only 8 forests in the deck, but I have also the Energy Refractor and 1 Flask. With 1 Flask I can, get the forest. So there's like 10 cards that allow me to get green in some capacity. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna Surveil upkeep. I guess if I do find a forest that way, I can play the Stalwart, but no, I think this is fine. Okay, they don't. And then I found the forest. So I'm not playing them. Oh, actually I should be careful about the... I don't want to play the Mask before the Steel Seeker has done anything. Which means I might actually just Surveil into a land. It's not a bad idea because I do want to draw more lands. So I'm going to just Surveil here. It's 2 mana. Okay, they are gonna have Mindstones animations for sure, given the cards currently here. The Battery Barrier is pretty good with the Mask of the Chagecrafter, can produce quite a bit of mana. Okay, they do no spells with this amount of mana available. Huh. Well, I guess I will try. I could just play the Battery Barrier, but it seems like they could have a counter spell, so I'm going to actually play the Steel Seeker first. And then I can play the Mask here, so if they have a counter spell, they can counter only one of these. And this thing has even Unearth, so if they counter that, I wouldn't mind. Okay, more lands, so I got a free draw there. Is there a flash creature for this amount of mana? I don't think there is. Only white has the common flash, and of course blue has a common 5-drop, but white has the 1/2 flyer for 2. Okay, so nothing yet. Interesting. So they had no spells, even with the amount of cards they have. So combat courier, sure. They also might have, you know, being blue-black, they draw a second card per turn mechanic in the deck, especially with the combat courier too. They have good amount of synergy for that. How greedy am I gonna get with this? Okay, well, let's see. Who are they? They're gonna kill the Steel Seeker. Sure. I mean, it already got me a card. I'm actually not minding about this much at all. Ooh, this could be a 9-drop. Although it's gonna be taking a bunch of time before that happens, so I guess it's gonna be a 6-drop. Untapping it requires mana though, but I can play it this turn because of the Citadel Stalwart. I can also do this and then not really much after that. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm gonna get a card from this thing if it is on the battlefield, so I should definitely make it like that, and that means I can just surveil, because I can use the Stalwart to tap the battery bearer for 1 mana, and then I have mana to surveil with this thing. Or I can also actually tap the Mask of the Jade Crafter, but there's no point surveilling right now. I can do it at the end of the turn. So if they don't kill the battery bearer, I will be drawing a card from the depth charge Colossus. Okay, well, that's a very good sacrifice thing for that. So, boom. Oh, actually, this I can surveil now already because of this tapping by itself, thanks to the battery bearer. But that's not gonna happen anymore. But I can still, you know, block with the bulwark and have the 2 mana for the surveiling, because Stalwart can tap the mask here. Not sure I care about lands anymore, but I can care about this turn lesson for sure. So, I'm gonna play this Colossus as a 6/6. Let's see if they do have the counter spell. They don't. Because I think that if they have the bounce spell, which they could, I'd rather, you know, let them bounce this thing, the token, which will completely disappear from existence. Now they have something they need to somehow deal with. Yeah, I don't like that I have to use mana to untap it, but I can still just see if they take 6 damage here or not. If they kill it, then I don't have to worry about the untapping part. Okay, so they're gonna have something for that. Okay, returning that thing. I don't think there's anything I can do in response, so let's start just... they actually can unearth the courier and then, you know, kill something from me. But so be it. I can now either get a 6/6 token or just play the Wing Commando. This thing has to reach though, even though I can progress at least once, it's not guaranteed. I'm going to just make this into a 6/6. Let's see if they have the bounce spell. They didn't have the bounce spell, so now they can kill only 1 with the Skyfisher Spider. Okay, yeah, their deck might just be very good. I haven't seen any, you know, bad cards, and this Spider they have is definitely worth, you know, splashing, and it seems like they have the means to do that. So who's gonna die? That's gonna be... At least they don't get to draw the card from the unearth, because they sack it, but it's still not that great. Token goes away, and then I will have the option to keep untapping the Colossus. Untapping, I mean... I'm gonna play the land. I'm not playing the stern lesson quite yet. I'm actually going to untap this guy. That leaves me mana for the wing commando and attack right away. They take 6, but I need to start dealing the damage here. And the wing commando is good board presence here. With the stern lesson I can make it instantly into a 3-3 off, but as long as they have the spider, of course, it's not so great. No blocks there. Well, that's 7 life. Sorry, 6 life. Alloy enemies. Alright, alright. So... the token is currently only a 4-4, so that's not so great. I guess I can try to... I do have mana for the subjugation and stern lesson here. So I'm actually going to do that. Maybe they can block with the spider and then my stern lesson is gonna get it. I'm gonna tap down this thing. Like this. And then I can attack with the command and hope they block with the spider. And hope they don't have anything for this stern lesson here. Yep. The enemies can still potentially be quite good. So I got to eat that for free now. And they don't have anything then, you know. Okay, they left it in the graveyard. Don't say you have an emergency weld there. Emergency weld with the spider is such a nice one, especially when they can sack this thing that's under the weak stone. Okay. I don't have any prowess currently, so maybe I should not attack with the commando. Just untap this guy. I'm not attacking with the stalwart. I'm still interested in the mana. It can make the mask quite good. Let's play all the lands and then this and this. Next turn I can consider making this, because I already have a lot of mana to make this quite big despite the 3 mana unearth, because they might have ways to exile a card from a graveyard, for instance. And I do have a surveil up here, so let's do that. Well, I'm gonna do like this. Elsewhere Flask. Well, it draws me a card and, you know, it works with the enemies, so let's do it like this. Also a prowess trigger for the wing commando. Okay, that's a lot of triggers. I don't know if they are having 3 cards in their hand, but that's good too. But if I wanna untap this guy, I don't have the 7 mana. This entered the battlefield, so if I animate this with the enemies, it's not going to be able to attack. So, play this guy or just push for damage here. I think I'm gonna just push for damage. I can also untap it. It seems like they're holding just lands here. Okay, they double block that. I mean, yep, that's really good for me. Because they lose both of those, but... Alright, well, I mean, I'm just gonna win now. Unless they have like some kind of mass removal. I even have the mana to untap the depth charge Colossus here. Alright, they just flooded out. That's the only explanation. They had the energy refractor, so they didn't have any other color of card. Alright, spider. Always annoying. But I don't think I'm gonna splash like a Dreams of Steel and Oil. Recluse. How about the shoot down? Yeah, have a boulder branch column. Sentinel. Not really a lot of targets, but I don't like the weak stone subjugation when I saw a power stone fracture and a skyfish spider, both of which can, kind of negate my removal spell, so that has to go away. I still have a couple of confrontations in here. Now, the Colossus was, decentish. Maybe I play another one. It's really expensive though. Okay, Heiwa Might. Non-creature artifacts. I did not... Or enchantments. I don't see much of that kind from them. I could just play the other flask, but not sure if it's that needed. Could play the shoot down, but I guess I could play the rock, but it's not so good because this thing is 3/3 reach, so the 5 mana 3/3 can just trade with this. So I'm going to play the Colossus here. Hopefully I don't have to regret the decision, but I guess as long as I get to 4 mana I can cast my spells, at least the vast majority of them. Okay, well the Wellspring can trip into some blue mana and even drew one already, so now I can play the Stern Lesson. I have the Urhes Command. I do need the second blue for that. Oh, that is powerful. Oh, that just wins the game if I don't draw my epic confrontation, and I need it quite fast. Okay, they didn't use actually the... No, if they have an island. Oh, they actually did not. Okay, so what to do here now? I think I'm gonna just have to try to race them because they missed a land drop there. And they couldn't attack with this thing yet because they didn't have the island after the Wellspring. So now they play that thing and probably make this able to attack now. Okay, they don't make it able to attack. That's good for me. I wonder if I should wait until 7 mana because I have the Stalwart and 2 lands here. And I get some power stones. This turn won't be that good though. Actually, it will be fine with the Stern Lesson. I kind of forgot that. So I'm going to attack. And they might even trade, yeah. So they trade. I'm gonna play the Foundry after all. And this, and then I can discard the Forest for the Stern Lesson. Or something else, but the Stalwart can already start producing mana with the Wellspring on the battlefield. They have a Wellspring. So I'm very happy they, blocked with this thing now. I don't have to worry about them winning just with that. Now they probably have an emergency will to bring it back, but at least I have some time now to find my stuff. But now they have found their stuff too. I don't think they're gonna attack because I have a Mishra's Foundry here, which I could have activated and blocked with. Alright, so I'm keeping all my spells. Because I have now 6 mana already, but I should play the battery better. I don't like the fact that they can just, sacrifice the Wellspring for a Power Stone Fracture again, but then again, I just want to draw my cards if I can. I have a couple of 6-drops here already. And this turn I can still, play this, and then I can tap the Wellspring for mana. Okay, so... Well, I can do it like this too. Then play the statue here, because I have the Power Stone here. So that was still all 6 mana used that I had available on this turn. And now they kind of have to kill the bearer, or I will definitely draw a card. Because the Stalwart can give me the missing blue mana. Okay, just a Stern Lesson. If they have a land drop, they still have a chance to Power Stone Fracture. Yeah, I just want to draw the card from the Colossus, so please. I guess if I draw an untapped land, which I think is all my lands, I will also have 7 mana for the Crusher, which will also, of course, draw me a card. I hope they don't have a Gixis command in their deck. Oh, they actually have another color. I saw blue, black and green in the previous game. They have something red, at least after sideboarding. Alright, so I did get a land. This was a fantastic set. And of course these creatures tap for any color. I mean, colorless, which can be used against artifact. No, used to cast artifact spells. So, well, let's just do the Crusher, I guess. Draw a card. That's a cast trigger, so it doesn't matter if they counter this spell. Well, I mean, it matters a bit because I don't want it to get countered. And then the question is, how can they punish me by attack if I attack now? I don't think they really can. Plus, it already drew a card, so its value. And now if they use Power Stone Fracture on the bearer, the Crusher is still a threat they want to probably deal with. Disfigure, yep, that already is kind of unnecessary at this point because I have all the lands now I need here. That's a lot of cards in their hand, but let's see what they have found after drawing all those cards during this game. They have at least one Fracture for the Crushers. They don't wanna have this attacking for 8 here. But I have more card draw if they don't have an answer for the Battery Bearer as well. Funnily, and neither player has taken any damage here. So I'm very happy about the choice to sideboard in the second Colossus. Thraxodemon, okay, well, it's a good one, but I have my own card draw engine here too. Drum. Well, they have a lot of things to sacrifice, so I don't mind drawing an epic confrontation here. Okay, so the amount of mana I have now currently is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, I mean, it's gonna be this. I'm going to tap the founder here. That leaves me with blue mana. I guess I can draw the Alloy Animist, so let's do it like this. Leave a forest up. Okay, I can still cast the mask because I have the land and the bearer. I think casting, and it also gives a counter to the statue. Yeah, I could attack for 3, but I'd rather use my mana this turn. Okay. Now this has drawn me 2 cards, and it can still draw me 1 more. Although the Thraxodemon is about to draw them 1,000,000 cards as well. They have the Skyfisher Spider in the deck, which they may be able to recur, have some recursion for it. If they just have an emergency world or a few of them. There's 1 land in the graveyard only. No lands in exile and only 6 on the battlefield, so I guess they have a bunch of lands left also. This can be a 9/9 Colossus if I so want to. I guess I might want to. I mean, I have already seen one of these fractures that I saw in previous game. They still have the spider, of course, but well, let's see what I draw, what they do. So they can draw a card with that thing, and they have still a bunch of mana left. More curious, okay. So they can jump block this guy. Oh, there's a Mightstones animation, which actually is very good on the statue too, but the statue is gonna be a threat no matter what. Here I can actually just animate the Wellspring if I want to. I'm also interested in just playing the Colossus though and draw the card from the Battery Bearer. I think I might play this as a 6/6 because then that leaves me mana to untap this guy. I can also attack with the battery bearer, so let's do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right. Then I don't have mana to untap there if I attack with the battery bearer. Still, I think I'm gonna play this smaller version here. Draw the card. And oh, there is the epic confrontation, which I'm very interested in using here now. Let's just first attack with... Yeah, I can use the remaining mana on the epic confrontation. Let's see if they block and draw a card. If they are left with only 2 mana now, I think it's... I mean, they could still have the bounce spell in response to the confrontation, but I actually am interested in dealing with the Thraxo demon here because it will draw them more cards, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so maybe it's a bit too risky now to... Oh, are they gonna do that in combat? It seems like they're actually just... Oh wow, that's... Why would they let me... Why would they tap out in combat so that I can safely play my confrontation? Okay, now I have a lot of threats in here. The statue is also quite large. The mask is here about to, I mean, become a big creature, so they need to have a lot of answers on a lot of big creatures. And I even have my Urza's command here, which actually would produce a pretty insanely large artifact, because it gets +1/+1 for each artifact, and I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. It counts itself, so that's 7. All the cards in their hand, what are they doing? They have all the colors because of their refractor. I haven't had this relevant depth charge Colossus in ages, because usually it doesn't make the cut, but in this deck it does. Well, now that is a darn good card, but it might be a little bit... Not that... I mean, that's not a lot at this stage in the game. I can attack a lot. I can attack with the Wellspring being a 4/4, and then the Levitating Statue being a 4/4. Okay, they're just drawing a card now. I mean, they maybe should have done that before they play the Sky Strike Officer, but because the 2/3 isn't actually doing a good job blocking here. They are at 13 cards left in the deck, but they are at 6 cards in their hand. So is it going to be another Power Stone Fracture? At some point they will draw their, of course, their Spider as well. But the Spider can only deal with one of my things, and I have a lot of threats. Okay, let's start with this thing. And then I have options here. I don't think I really care about the Urza's command right now, because what I can do, I can untap the Colossus and activate the statue and attack just with everything, because I have the Power Stone, so that's exactly 5 here. Let's just, you know, attack with a lot. If they have like mana for maybe 1 spell. This is this is what, 12, 16. I was attacking for 23. So if the best thing they had going on, I mean, let's say if they had no spells that does anything, they had to jump block a 6/6 and take what, 17 damage. which is, still lethal because they have only 17 life points. Wow, I have no idea what they had in their hand, but this was an interesting game. And the battery bearer, I think, drew me 3 cards. Alright, Stalwart with the Wellspring into teamwork. Not, I said teamworker. I mean, I guess it could be a teamworker too. Opponent mulligans. So as long as the Stalwart doesn't get killed during their first or second turn, I can curve out, or I can just draw land. Okay, they can see what I'm about to draw here. Okay, well that actually is gonna be played before the Wellspring. Okay, so I have now 4 mana available. I should just play the Tower Worker here. Trigger the Steel Seeker and then attack for 2 here. Alloy Animist. I mean, it's not bad with the Wellspring, but I actually do want to have maybe more lands. It's a little bit too early for the Animist, so I'm gonna mill it. Rather try to draw land. What's the second color? It is white. Or and also blue. Hey, this opponent also has Sky Strike Officer, which I really hate. What I can do, I can play this as a Tower Worker. It's a 3/3 with reach, so they need to deal with it. And I get triggers here. Battery bearer number 2. I think 1 is enough. I still want to draw lands here. I know I can cast it, but I don't have the expensive artifacts that give me cards. I'm gonna mill that thing. No attacks. And now they need to deal with a Tower Worker or have a pump spell or something. I mean, it's very easy to still attack with a Sky Strike Officer and they don't even think twice. I can, block it with these. I don't think it's gonna really matter, but they are not gonna deal 4 extra damage, are they? They are not. It's gonna be like a gas gift. Yep. Now I can still find an epic confrontation, please. Nope. No such luck. This card is going to win the game by itself. So let's start with this and then I can play the battery bearer, I guess. Can even attack for 1 here. The Wellspring being the one I can tap for the Stalwart. Alright, epic confrontation, I need it very soon. Okay, they have their own. The battery bearer wasn't that relevant, but of course the opponent can't know that it doesn't currently do anything to me. So now I need to deal with the officer. Come on, epic confrontation. Hey, the bearer would have drawn me a card now. Well, this is the only card they need, creature they need to play. Of course they have played other cards, but the only creature they need to play there. Yeah, maybe that can do something. I can attack for a 2 here. Okay, so they're blue-green. I don't know what the white is. White is 4, I guess I'll see at some point. Ah, this guy's strike officer. This is such an annoying thing. Imagine if it was like a wing commando. The game would have been such a different one. Now they can start drawing cards from those things. So let's go. Colorless rock. I'm gonna give it -2, -0, and I didn't really like that draw. Yeah, I'm gonna save my guys here. I would have preferred the creature and a card draw. Okay, well now... I mean, I guess I don't need to save these guys. So I'm actually gonna do the card draw and the creature after all. I'm gonna do it right now so that I can get the Steel Seeker trigger once more. Statue. Well, that does, I need confrontation, and I can still actually cast it on this turn. So let's just try to get into that. That's not it. How about... Well, the Crusher is good, but I'm losing to these flyers. It's just such sad. I need to just pin anything except for the... Oh, I didn't have even the land drop left, but I guess I take what, 8 damage. I'm not gonna die. Losing to the Sky Strike Officer. I even have drawn half the cards in the deck without finding either of the 2 kill spells on this thing. Yep. I mean, the kill spell isn't really gonna be enough anymore, but yes, I can show them that I have an Elsewhere Flask in this deck. Yep. Very sad. They had all the jump blockers. I mean, it's not just the card draw, it's also the jump blockers here. They were here at 7, and I had what, 11 points of attackers. They didn't even need to use their actual cards to block. They could just jump here. So any reason? Oh yeah, of course I'm gonna take the shoot down. That will exile the Sky Strike Officer, and also, you know, the Colorless Rock. And if they have any artifacts, which they have a bunch of, and then I'm going to cut something. I don't think I need a 3/1 Recluse. Is it better than something? I don't know. Probably not. Metamorph. Well, this deck can produce the 9 mana, so I'm gonna keep it in. This doesn't give reach. Nope. Haywire Might. No targets. Well, I'm gonna have to cut something. Maybe the Bulwark. I'm gonna cut the Bulwark. Alright, that's the deck. That is the deck. No turn 3 Sky Strike Officers, please. Or if they do have, I need an epic confrontation. Well, my hand is actually very nice. I just hope it's not gonna be made redundant. Yep, statue first, then because it will start getting counters from the, for example, from the mask here. Now this can also copy an artifact, except it's an artifact creature in addition to its other types. So I can copy a levitating statue, and then this will start picking counters as well. Alright, well that's a really good reason to, I guess, play the white mana in the deck. Alright, but let's just play the Metamorph and copy the statue, because it will be quite nice. it has flying and it will get counters. Please don't remove it. And that they had a 3 mana 2/3. It wasn't a Sky Strike officer. Alright. This is now on. I guess a Steel Seeker into Mask so I can find lands. To trigger these things, and I can use the Steel Seeker for the mana here. Or I guess I could have used the statue too. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna use this for anything, so this. Thank you. Mightstone's animation can also be used on this levitating statue. So they need to deal with both of them basically. Let's see if they have the means to do that. Okay, that's an epic confrontation for sure. But then they have to deal with the second one. Can I... No, if I drew a land... Yeah, it's too risky. Actually, I'm gonna draw a card with this thing too. Although this gives me a little bit better chance because I can combine with the Steel Seeker, but... I mean, if I play this and I don't get a land, then I cannot cast the animation, so I think it's better just to play it safe. Okay, I guess I'm gonna offer the trades here now. Don't care if the Dissident trades with the Stalwart. Now they need another answer. Now they had the answer previous turn. They haven't had any artifacts for the Dissident yet. Okay, land is good. Now this is gonna be a good card. I wonder if I should just play the Flask. Okay, I'm gonna play the Flask here and leave mana up for the Urza's command. This will trigger the statue, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much here. Let's first check the top. Yeah, I can definitely draw that thing. Yeah, I can tap. I have the 4 mana with the Stalwart. They have a coils. Okay, that is just a jump block then. On the statue, they get a counter, but oh, they can actually get a free kill on the Steel Seeker, which I don't think is going to matter. Hopefully. Do I want to trigger it again? I'm giving them information by doing that. I'm gonna play this end of turn regardless. Now the question is, do I want to have another trigger for this? And I think I want. So I think it's going to be a still. I could take a Power Stone here, but I'm just gonna scry draw. I don't know if that's even that good, but I suppose it will draw a card regardless, so let's do it. And then I got the land. Alright, so they have to anyway just deal with the statue first, and then after that they have to deal with... And of course another reason to keep the Wellspring is that it makes the construct token here larger. So yeah, so even if they pacify my statue here, I have this very big thing coming up. This will be a big thing. This is a big thing, but the thing is that all these, you know, cost a lot of mana, so they have time to find answers for them. But anyway, they didn't find an answer for the board state at hand, basically the flyer I had. So, Colossus. Tinkering is actually not so bad against the confrontation. Problem with that card is that it's 4 mana. I do like the animist here. This is only... No, it is... It's not... No, it is only combat damage, so it doesn't work against any fight spells. Well, the thing is, I don't really want to cut anything here. I want to keep these cheap cards as well, and yeah, I'll just keep the same deck. But yeah, I really like the hulking metamorph copying the statue. I didn't even realize that earlier. Okay, I have a confrontation. If they do have a Sky Strike officer, I do need a land for the commando. They also have a Gaia's Gift, at least one, so I ideally can use this when they are tapped out. Star, not a land. So what do we have here? I have a 2-drop at least. Okay, they have a Wormlet too. Well, that's annoying. And they get 2 triggers from this thing actually. But I can subjugate that thing. Okay, so that's kind of dealt with. Now let's see, Moment of Truth, Sky Strike officer or not. So I don't actually care about the steel. I don't have anything that triggers it. So I'm gonna... they might just draw a card, but if they use a Gaia's Gift on this, I don't really care. Now that's something they can't use in response to the, Big Stone Subjugation, for instance. And this being a 2/2 is barely that relevant. Alright, I would want to draw a land, but I guess I can just subjugate this thing if not. So yeah. Okay, I need to land at some point though. They might get a bit too ahead here. Copying a Wing Commander with the Metamorph isn't bad either, by the way. Okay, the Wormlet is gonna grow quite a lot. I hope they don't get rid of the aura at any point. No Sky Strike officers yet, but I do need a land, of course. The 6-drop was kind of a joke, but alright, there it is. And I guess I wanna block this guy, so let's take the patrol here. Even though copying the Wing Commander with the Metamorph is nice, but... Okay, now there's a I actually do need to kill the Dissident, yep. They draw a card. Command. Well, let's try. That worked. Okay, so now I don't have an answer to the Sky Strike officer, but I suppose I just hope they don't draw it. Now they immediately played. Okay, bailout is something I can live with. Okay, that's not bad. I get to attack with this thing, although I mean it's not that great because they just take 4 and they still... Okay, there's... I've drawn 1 land here in this game actually. 1 land. Yeah, it's very hard to raise the bailout because the +4 life matters a lot, plus they already have a little bit ahead here. So now the Wellspring was good because the Mightstone's animation, of course, is nice target for it. Yeah, I mean the Wellspring is a nice target for the animation. But they are gonna find their Sky Strike officer at some point, and I need to find my other epic confrontation, and that's really... Okay, they don't have the land. So statue first. Might be a little bit too greedy, because there's no other spell I can play this turn. So let's just do this. Because of course, if I was in a position to play this first, it would have picked a counter from there. Yeah, this thing gets out of hand. Alright, they have the best kind of an answer for it. I don't even get to draw a card. I take 7 here. I think I'm gonna lose this game now. That was too much going on for the opponent, and me struggling a little bit too much. I can make this into a Wellspring, by the way, too. This has some nice synergies because it can copy non-creature artifacts, so it will draw me a card when it enters and draw me a card when it dies. Now, I don't think it can matter, but I will try. Well, I need the blocker. So I'm gonna... Oh, they have the... it's not gonna work. The statue is gonna beat me. Yeah, I kind of forgot that. Yep, game is over. They don't activate the statue though. Well, I guess they have a pump spell then, but... This is my only kind of reasonable play here. Because jump blocking gold is just not reasonable. This way I get rid of one of the guys. Yep, I don't think... okay, the lands came too late, so I can give -2, -0, but even 1 damage is gonna be enough. Well, I suppose if they have a land in... If they don't have a non-creatures, I can still... Yeah, because what I can do here is I can allow enemies and then use the Urza's command, so... I mean, this is something I can do that still might make it so that I don't lose, but they must not have a non-creature spell. If they have that, I will lose. Because in response to this thing resolving, I will use the Urza's command. Although they can target the statue. Yeah, I'm gonna lose if they target the statue. Yep. Because, I mean, I can make it a 2-6 and this is an 0-2, but it's still gonna get +2 and I will die. So, that's it. Okay, another good hand here, definitely with the Stalwart does enable some nice starts when you have some kind of 2-mana play to follow up with. But I can now just go with the Steel Seeker into enemies next turn, then the Tower Worker to start triggering the Steel Seeker. Wonder if I should play the Crusher right away. I mean, 7 mana is quite far away from happening. Yeah, it's very far away. Even with the Tower Worker, it's not worth it. Although 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I see what I draw on the next turn. I will get some information from the Steel Seeker too, and I can play the Tower Worker here and attack for 3. So let's do that now. Maybe I can next turn. Yeah, I can target the Tower Worker actually. Let's draw that next turn. Although if they kill the Tower Worker, that's gonna be miserable. It could be an Excavation Explosion now. But they might also kill the Steel Seeker, actually, if they have a removal spell. Okay, that's just a Dragon Engine. Well, I can now just start doing work with the Tower Worker. Because, you know, it's a worker, so it will do work. Draw a card here. Statue is not bad. I could actually cast it, but it's not gonna do much other than trigger maybe the Steel Seeker. But I'd rather attack for 4 here. I don't have any other attacks. Well, next turn, if I draw a land, I have 7 mana, assuming both the Stalwart and the Tower Worker survive at this turn. Non-creature artifact counter becomes a 4/4, so it's actually gonna... Yeah, with 3 mana I can make this in the base 4/4, and with 2 mana using its own ability a base 1/1, so that's a +3/+3 difference. Double Swift Spear. Oh, they are gonna go crazy with that. Mistress Domination is a little bit... very aggressive, but I guess they have a 3/5 blocker now. I could triple block. Well, I would lose 2 cards. Well, of course I'm not gonna triple block. Yeah, I'll take the 4 damage. And there's the land. Well, I mean, I can't even attack with this guy anymore. So let's play the bigger thing. Yep, and I will tap the Animist. That seems good. So let's draw that thing. I can get rid of the Dragon Engine, and that's a 2/1 because they have the aura in there. Gilded Lotus. Now they can do some very expensive stuff. I hope they don't have a Portal to Phyrexia. Well, that would be bad. But they wouldn't play this card if they don't have a... Well, they get the statue away, which is... I mean, that's fine, as long as... Because it's important that the Weakstone Subjugation is gonna be here. They don't have a good attack. I guess they could attack in the air. What? Iron Crow Crusher is just gonna eat one of those guys. If that's gonna be their attack, they wanna sacrifice one Swift Spear to deal 3 damage. Well, you know, maybe if they have more of these dominations. That's So what? No attacks. There's no... Okay, they can attack with the Dragon Engine, for sure. No. That's what they chose to do, but hey, this is not great. Can I attack with the Foundry? I don't think I'm gonna do it this turn. This is 4 mana total. Well, I'm going to attack with the Tauberker and the Crusher for sure. And then I can... Well, actually... No, I'm 1 mana short of doing it. Because I'm gonna attack. Because I could have attacked with the Foundry if I had the mana for it. And give it +4/+0. And then they would have needed to use both Swift Spears to kill it. But I don't have the mana for it, because this is a must. This is gonna happen no matter what. So I might as well now tap this, and this. And then I have the Steel Seeker, so of course this is what I'm gonna do. Attack with the Steel Seeker, that's gonna get the +4 boost, because these things have only 1 power, so now they don't have a good block at all. They can jump block 5 or use 2 guys to trade with the Steel Seeker. Take it to 8 here. They are down to 1 card. Now if they do have a Portal to Phyrexia, I guess I can activate the Mistress Foundry in response. And sack the Stalwart, Animist and the Foundry. And then still have a lethal attack. So I'm not gonna lose to it. I'm gonna win through if they cast now a Portal to Phyrexia. Because I can activate this still by tapping the Forest, and the Stalwart can tap the Animist here. Okay, well that's well done, the 1/2 haste guy. That was really the only thing they had there. That's right. Rock Hunter. Okay. I think it's game over now. They have an empty hand. And I was able to punish this aura, because that's of course the traditional drawback of an aura, that doesn't give you any, card advantage when you play it or when the creature gets dealt with. That's just a 2/1. Clean 2/1 there. So now attacks. Definitely going to make this into a 2/2. And I guess I'm just going to attack with everything. 4/4. Maybe not the Animist. because I can only make one of my 1 power guys, one power plus 1 toughness guys into more power. But I don't want the Swift Spear to eat anything for free, that's the point. So I'm gonna actually leave the animist back because I might also draw the things I can animate with it. So let's do the attack like this. And they take what? 5 here, lose their board. Yep. That's what's gonna happen. I do have a stern lesson in the deck, so I don't think I'm gonna play the forest yet. I might draw the card. Okay, they can double block like that, which is gonna make them take even more damage. And they still lose their board. I lose my tower worker, but I don't think I care. They go down to 1-2 here. So I don't really see how they're gonna beat me. Even a tower portal to Phyrexia won't be enough now. Okay. And I don't know if they have it, but I'm wondering why they are playing a Gilded Lotus. Maybe they have more expensive things. Okay, I am winning here. I don't need to activate their foundry. They have no cards, so this is a lethal attack as long as they let me go through with it. This is a best of 3 match. There's no point wasting your time. I guess the 25 minutes they have left will be, enough anyway. But I mean, why waste time? It's 100% lethal right now. So let's just go to next game. It's not over. So black-red, couple of Swift Spears. I wonder if they're gonna keep their Mistress Domination in. But I guess with double of Swift Spear they can have some very aggressive starts. I don't think I'm gonna have my own 3-1 though. I don't like the Weld giving them the token. It's also not great to trade with the Swift Spear. Hard words to pronounce. Because I have this additional 2-drop here. How about the Might? Well, domination, Gilded Lotus, those kind of targets, I don't think it's really gonna make the cut. Now, is there anything? Shoot down deals with Dragon Engine, and I guess if they put this Mistress Domination on something, maybe, yeah. I don't just think I wanna really sideboard anything out. I like the Bulwark in this matchup for sure. Oh. Maybe the Animist, but the Animist is so good whenever I have these things, and I have a couple of Power Stones possibly coming as well. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Animist. It can also trade with, because they have also 3-1. It can trade with the 3-1. Alright, I'm not gonna sideboard anything. Let's see what happens. I'm on the draw here, so if they have like a Swift Spear start and I don't have a 2-drop, could go badly. Well, I not only have... well, I don't have a 2-drop yet, but I do have the Stalwart again with the Animist. They actually let me go first. What? Why do they let me go first? That... I mean, I have a great curve here. Maybe they have a Disfigure here. If they have a Disfigure and I don't draw the 3rd land, that's gonna be very good for the opponent. Okay. They're gonna get rid of the Battery Barrier, I think. Although it doesn't do much now. Maybe they take their Wing Commando. Well, I don't actually care which they take. I don't care which they take, and I even drew the land, so... this thing... next time I can have the Battery Barrier. Or I can attack for 2 and play the Tower Worker, whichever I prefer. Depends on, of course, what they do. Infiltrator. Well, the Tower Worker can be animated. I don't think I mind them trading with either of these. The Tower Worker will be producing my 4th one anyway. So I'm just gonna attack for 2 and then play this. Because I do like the idea to just animate it if they tap out for a 3-drop, for example. Because I want the card from this thing, obviously. Okay, they tap out for a 3-drop. They can attack for 3. The 2-1 is getting held back because of the tower worker. Nope, don't. Opponent. I'm not gonna take 5. That was just a misclick from their behalf. Alright, let's actually raise. I attack for 6 now. Yeah, they just threw away that thing. There was no point attacking with this. They were tapped out. There was no bluffing value or anything. Weld. Okay, if that's the best play, maybe they have a land and they can play it, but it's still... My 4-4 is gonna trade with the 3-2 and the 1-1, and I don't actually mind. They don't have a land drop. They are attacking. Why? Now they can't trade with my 4-4 anymore. What's their plan? Oh, they do have a land drop. No, I no longer understand what's going on. I could actually play a rather big token, but I'm gonna just play the battery bearer actually, and thinking about the attacks, but no, I actually don't want to trade. I mean, I could trade the animist with it. That's actually... Because what I can do, I can play the mask and then tap it for mana and then still drop my land and play the battery bearer after all. Let's just do that then. They are holding some... I mean, it's really annoying to lose this because I might draw things I can animate, but then again, it's a jump block they're gonna miss out on. I guess I could have done this either way, you know. Whichever I play first, I can play the second one second, because I can, of course, use the stalwart. Actually, if I played the battery bearer first, I could have just tapped this for mana to pay for this thing. I don't think it matters. This being tapped or untapped doesn't matter. Okay, do they have a kill on the tower worker? I'm gonna have a very big token coming up. They are gonna need a kill for that, because all of these guys will tap for mana now. That was a Gixis Keras that only gave them a Power Stone token. Okay, now they have a Disfigure, sure. So I'm actually going to not even tap these guys for mana. I'm gonna just attack because they're tapped out. They have to jump block, and then I'm gonna have a 6/6 token. So yeah, this should be... I mean, the second match was pretty tough, but this one isn't. And they just, you know, I mean, understandably, if they don't really have much going on to deal with these, and the token, that is gonna be at least a 5/5 this turn. Why bother continuing? Alright, so another 2-1. Another 2-1, but it was a very, maybe an unusual deck. This blue-green archetype isn't that often played, but I guess I did like the idea with the Might Stones animation. I didn't really use them that many times in the event, but I had a couple of times where I had a Wellspring with the animation. And of course, when I got the double battery bearer fairly early in the draft, I think it was a good reason to, you know, stick to blue-green. And I guess the most impressive play was the hulking metamorph copying the levitating statue, because then you will have a 4-mana 3/3 flyer that picks up counters for every non-creature spells you play. That's a really decent combination. Something to keep in mind when you have both available, or let's say you have picked one and then you are considering picking the other during a draft. And the Stalwart, well, I mean, turn 1 Stalwart is really good, but of course the problem with this card is that when you draw it late, I mean, a random 2-drop at least usually can be at least like a 2/2 or something, but this is just a 1/1 later in the game, so even though it was very impressive now in the games where I have it early, It's of course a pretty miserable top deck, not much better than a land. But yeah, that was the deck. This time didn't get the trophy, but it was a pretty nasty matchup in the second match. So let's claim the prize here, and I will see you in a couple of days in another traditional draft of Brothers War. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.